Violet petals drift through glass. Yesterday's ghosts dancing past. Crystalline whispers in the void. Silver streaming stars destroyed. Down at Collaboration Station, breathing mercury sensation. Paper wings and neon rain, threading needles through my brain. Through these veins, mirror children chase the light. Drowning in electric night. Origami souls unfold. Stories bought and stories sold. All these things down at Collaboration Station, breathing mercury sensation. Paper wings and neon rain, threading needles through my brain. Through these veins, kaleidoscope tears in azure rooms. Butterfly wings on digital looms. Paradise lost in pixelated blooms, while diamond children spin their tunes. Spin their tunes. Hologram hearts pulse and fade. Through this masquerade parade, paper crowns and golden lies. Beneath these algorithmic skies. Down at Collaboration Station, where shadow meets validation. Paper wings and neon rain, threading needles through my brain. Till morning breaks the spell at last, and rainbow children slip past. Slip away, whisper me a static lullaby.
All right. Good morning, everybody who happens to be joining us or listening to the replay. If you're joining us via the live stream, you're welcome to come on over to the space and chat about whatever goals or plans you have for 2025 related to content creation. So, I'm going to talk about what I'm thinking about doing and maybe some things that I'm really uncertain about. But 2020, I know 2025 is going to be a pretty incredible year. So, yeah, we have Christopher here who's actually in the room with me. So it's very difficult to communicate with two phones going in the same room. So I don't know how this is going to actually work. Okay, so you went and hid the phone somewhere, so there isn't any feedback.
Yes, hopefully. What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Christopher. In 2025, we're going to bring it home today. I always talk like this. Don't worry about it.
Well, I know there's a few people watching the live stream, and I totally understand if they're hungover and don't want to come on the mic and talk in a space. I totally understand. But oh, we got a couple people popped in. We got Cave, we got Chris. Good to see you. Happy New Year, guys. If you want to come up and chat about what your plans are in 2025, you are more than welcome. Yeah. So yeah, me and Christopher are just going to share my mic because he's right next to me, actually.
So yeah, today's going to be a little bit different. We ordered a very large number of vapes, and we're going to be testing them, and we're going to let you guys know.
What? No.
5 out of 10 for this one. Cherry berry ice flavor.
No. No, that's not the plan. We did manage to. I did manage to stay up till midnight and watch the ball drop in New York City, and so that was my evening, and then promptly went to sleep.
Yeah, we're like a couple of old people.
Well, I mean, technically, kind of. So yeah, I'm excited for 2025. I think it's going to be an incredible year on X. I mean, 2024 was amazing. I think it's only going to get better. So looking forward to the future on this platform. It's just so exciting. There's really a buzz in the air. I've been kind of absent for the past couple weeks, just consumed by the holidays. And this week will probably be similar because I'm visiting Christopher for the week. But I plan on, once I get home, just really ramping up my presence here and doing more things, trying different things, experimenting with spaces. I don't know. Like I have a notebook in front of me that I was going to write down a few things, and there's literally nothing there.
So we're doing the vape thing.
Yeah.
Banana kiwi flavor.
No, oh my god, stop it. And they're even gross flavors.
They're all gross.
You don't need
they're all gross. There's not a good flavor.
Yeah, I think that's the point. I've never vaped in my life. I have no idea what it's like, but I've had friends, and the smells can be kind of nice.
It's more of a question of what you want to get used to than it is like, oh, this is amazing.
So for 2025, when it comes to the community, the collaboration station community, I definitely want to do more, challenges for people, more posts to get people involved. Still planning to do the 2 spaces a week as of right now. So this one on Wednesdays, and then also the Sunday evening space. I am planning next Sunday. No, not next Sunday. It'll be 2 weeks, week and a half, I guess. I will be doing my live streaming again. I'm excited to get that started up. I have been absent from that, so I'm looking forward to doing that. And that's going to be Sunday evenings as well, where I talk about a topic that is helpful for content creators, just kind of a goal for the week to refocus your energy, put something towards like growing on this platform if you're looking for some kind of direction in that regard. So yeah, I want to welcome Eduardo. Thanks for coming. If you'd like to come up and chat about what you've got for goals and plans in 2025, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, I will happily ramble and Christopher will happily disrupt me.
That is the plan.
And then we're gonna go for about an hour. So we'll be wrapping up in about 50 minutes. So anyone, and Caroline's here as well. Nice to see you, Caroline. If you want to chat about anything that you've got for 2025 that you're excited about or want to share. And this is an opportunity too, if anyone's got something like maybe a new Spaces series that they want to talk about that they're coming up with, or live streaming, or just a project that you want to share and maybe be held accountable a little bit. So I did put down in the purple pill a spot to leave you know, your replies to this if you don't want to come up and speak, because I know some people may be a little hungover. I don't know.
Does it work like the whole thing of like, oh, you know, I'm doing this out in public and you know, therefore, you know, like I don't want to be embarrassed, so I'm going to do the thing. Does that really work? I mean, you're kind of just psyoping yourself, right?
Yeah, kind of. I have tried that, and I'm like, all right, X followers, friends, hold me accountable for my new workout routine I'm going to attempt to abide by. And
Yeah.
like, I fell off, and no one
People,
said anything.
nobody has a memory on here. Like you give it like 2 weeks, and nobody's going to remember shit, right?
Yeah, exactly. And we have Kiev on stage, and I know I'm probably pronouncing your name wrong, so please tell me the correct pronunciation for your name.
Oh, I am fortunate enough you did right this time.
I got it right?
Yes, you did. Most
Oh,
people
wonderful.
do it wrong.
Wonderful, wonderful. Oh, well, nice to speak to you. Thanks for joining us up here. You know, you're always active on X. You're really a great account to be following, because you do post a lot of really positive things, and you know, about the platform and all this stuff. So I really enjoy interacting with you when I see your posts, and you're always, you know, want to reply back into a conversation. So it's great to have you up on stage to say hi. Happy New Year. And so what are you thinking about in 2025? Like, do you have anything that you're hoping to achieve, or goals or plans?
Happy New Year to you. Like Christopher replied, you guys have plans. I don't know. I don't have any plans.
All right, that's cool too. Yeah. I was actually thinking about it, and I was like, do I even have any goals or plans for 2025? I don't know. It's just maybe to just grow my account more, you know, try and help people more, things like that, kind of stuff I'm already doing, and just doing more of that, and maybe a more focused energy, trying to, you know, find ways to monetize things here effectively on what is this? Do you guys have any plans?
Yeah.
Just saw his post. Let's see, what was I saying? Yeah, try and find ways to monetize, not just on the platform. So I have the creator monetization. I don't have subscriptions on here, and I'm not necessarily going after that, because I have to hit that 2,000 verified followers first before I even get there. So once that happens, just kind of organically, I will kind of
You have
maybe focus.
3,000, I think.
What's that?
You have around 2,910 followers.
Yeah. So I have I'm almost at 3,000 followers, which is exciting. I was maybe hoping to get to there before the new year, but that's okay. Not a big deal. But
There's still time.
Yeah, but
It's an entire year.
You need the 2,000 verified followers for the subscriptions on the profile.
Where you at now?
And so I'm at I can check right now while we're on here. Last I checked, it was around 1,000. So it was you know, kind of a scary number to try and go after. And I don't really even know how you really go after that. Yeah. So I have 926 right now.
Well, okay, here's my take on that.
Okay.
You got almost halfway there without even trying.
Hmm.
So you're probably going to naturally get the number that you need just by, you know, growing as you've been growing, and you've been growing pretty quickly, like more and more recently.
Hmm. Yeah, that's kind of my strategy on that. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and just have it grow organically, naturally. Because I don't, besides being like this posting just for verified people, like I don't know how you encourage verified people to follow you. So I'm just going to let that happen.
I'm not even sure that that's a great strategy, like doing the post where only verified followers can reply, because even if they're not verified, they still help your reach. So I don't know why you would limit that.
Yeah.
I don't know what the appeal is for verified people.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just gonna kind of go with that strategy on that, and then once I hit that number, then maybe I'll think about the 5 million impressions and do the reply guy thing. And but it's not necessarily something I'm, you know, really worried about.
So, well, okay, here's a good question for you. What is your plan if you get subscribers? What are you going to offer your subscribers?
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, yeah, my plan is just to have a subscriber space going all day that I'm awake.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Live stream every
Yeah,
room in your place.
Yeah, pretty much.
They used to call those cam houses. You guys remember cam houses?
Yeah, no, I won't be live streaming my life, but I think I will have more spaces that are just kind of like hangout spaces that would be just for subscribers. If I don't know how many you need for that to be in effect, be something that people will actually show up to, but I like the idea of like, okay, I'm just going to be sitting here working all day, have the space going, people come in, come and go and chat, and just that thing kind of appeals to me. But I don't want to do that as like my just what I do on here all the time, like as a public space. So I don't know. That's just what I've been thinking of. And then maybe more specific tutorials or how-tos and stuff might be something I put on there.
Polly's here.
Yeah, we say Polly, Happy New Year, Polly. We got Jeff here, Happy New Year. And Andrew, Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us. If you guys want to come up and talk about anything that you've got goals and plans for 2025, you're more than welcome. And we've got Chris up here on stage with us. And he's always got some really cool like ideas going on just in general all the time.
So I have a question for Chris. Do you remember cam houses? Do you know what I'm talking about when I say that?
The can houses?
Cam houses, like camera houses.
You mean enclosures for cameras?
Yeah, don't. All right. Christopher's having way too much fun today.
Yes, that is accurate.
I think Christopher's New Year's resolution was to derail my spaces more.
There you go.
Spicy.
It's a good resolution.
So how are you doing, Chris? Happy New Year. What do you got going on for 2025? Anything you want to share?
Oh, it's always aspirations, right? It starts out good. No, I was looking to take a dive into the whole content thing, and I don't know how well I fit the content space. And I think I'm just going to focus more on making and less on, just post what I make and then see if that resonates. The biggest problem I've had, to be honest, is most of the people that I talk to on here that are actually doing stuff aren't verified. And so it's like, I don't know if there's an audience for the content I want to generate.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, but the makers are on here. They are on here. So I think, yeah, and you make some pretty cool stuff, or just have that technical mind. I mean, I can just tell from your posts that I see. And I think, yeah, just lean into that, and the right people will eventually find you in the algorithm.
Well, that was the whole idea of the refocus too. Was I was thinking, you know, if I'm getting some tools that I've been putting off for stuff that I want to do, but then I was like, wait a minute, what if I pivoted and I helped other individuals that are looking to monetize in other ways and make that a revenue generation, right? So I've got a fiber laser showing up here in a couple of weeks, and I'm thinking of helping some people out with some merch, stuff like that, while I am actually purchasing it to make circuit boards. So
Oh,
dual
awesome.
use.
Awesome. Yeah. Put it to use, and yeah, share it out here. And then if you make something for a content creator on here and you share that, then other people see it and they're like, that's cool. I want to do that. You know, the organic growth on here, word of mouth growth is really incredible to unlock. So,
And also, just because you have followers that are not verified now doesn't mean they won't be verified in the future. So that might help you out if you have an editorial audience.
Yeah, I mean, there are some folks that I know for a fact that I follow, and they they've expressed the fact that they'll never be verified, that kind of thing, you know, which is fine. I don't, you know, that can't be or X cannot be your revenue strategy. That's just never going to happen. But no, the other thing that I've been looking at, and this is something I've been talking about doing for a while, but haven't pulled the trigger on. There's a lot of makers out there that the existing sites that are out there are not serving their needs. You know, there's Etsy, and I haven't really like put a leg in there. I'm a real big fan of eating your own dog food, and so as of late, I've actually been trying to go to Etsy and sell stuff on Etsy and all that stuff, and it's not maker friendly, to put it the least. It's designed to fill a niche, and wherever people slot in, you know, that's where they fit. So I'm looking not to take on Etsy or anything like that, but I'm looking to create a space that allows more creators, as in like physical creators, to do what they do that meets their needs and doesn't shave so much off the top. I think the problem is these things get way too big, and then, you know, they just fall into the same eBay trap. First it was eBay, now it's Etsy. There's some of these other places that are popping up, and I want to make something smaller that's designed to help the ecosystem move forward, the maker. And, you know, if we compare it with creators and make it kind of a symbiotic relationship, I think we can take a dent out of some of these like printable places and all that, or Printify, these other shops that are not horrible, but they're definitely taking the lion's share of the revenue off of anything they do.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's all this is like so complex, and especially with Etsy, they make it seem like it's so easy. You just put up your item and make sales, and it's so much more than that. And I did pretty well on Etsy for the holiday season with my shop, and that is like a print on demand type of business model, but it's a personalized designs, which is really the kind of code to crack on Etsy. If you just make something and try and sell it there, if you don't have an audience already, it's very hard to do that. But if you personalization is one way to kind of get ahead on that platform, because people are looking for gifts. So if they can personalize something and make it one of a kind, it will tend to do better on there.
We'll see that's the irony too, is my background, I'm a software architect. And so I've helped very large corporations build websites around personalizing merch. So it's one of those things that's not new to me. I mean, when it comes to all this technical stuff, I've spent my career, you know, calculating VAT tax for some large company, or working out the kinks of getting a logo in and being able to convert it into multiple formats to ship it off to 200 different vendors, so you can print your logo on anything you want for a bank, that kind of thing. That's kind of what I've done. I worked with Adobe and Scene 7, if you're familiar with that group, a while back when they were first doing personalization, so that when you would show a logo on a t-shirt, it would actually apply it to a mesh that would deform it properly, so it would look like it wasn't just pasted onto the t-shirt. Or vignettes, so if you show a curve on a pencil, or a pen, it actually shows it engraved on there, that kind of stuff. So, and I geek out on that kind of stuff more so than, the actual content thing, I guess. And so, lean into your strengths, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there is like a really substantial crowd of people on here that are into this stuff and would find it interesting. It's just finding them or them finding you and all that. And it just takes time, like just posting stuff that no one sees. And then, but eventually the algorithm's getting better, I find.
I would say that I rarely see that kind of content on here, and getting into the technical aspects of how you make something like that happen, like the deforming of images or SVGs or however you're doing it. That would be interesting because I've literally never seen that on X.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I have a ton of stuff that I think is unique. The question is, as with anything, if you're going to invest time in doing it, is it content that somebody's going to look at, right? If you go through the effort of generating it. So I think my goal for 2025 is to just focus on the doing and then just slap up some content related to that. And if that anything catches, I can actually invest some time into it.
Oh yeah, that's 100% my strategy too. I just kind of live my life, and then something pops up that's kind of interesting, and I think, oh, this might be useful for someone, like my website clients. If something I find is interesting or working for them, or a newsletter technique or whatever, I share that, and then that's very easy content to write because it's like, oh, this is just what's happening, and here's a couple screenshots. Use that, and people seem to like that. And then I also do my life, like just my life and what's going on and funny things that happen, and sprinkle that in. And that's my personal strategy because, yeah, I don't want to be spending so much time on really incredible content and have no one see it. Like, it's just so heartbreaking. I do sometimes, of course, sprinkle in stuff like that. Like I might put out a video or a more in-depth thread on occasion, but yeah, definitely not my primary content because time is everything. And so I want to be focusing my energy on really my time on what can, make sure I can feed myself, right, and put gas in my car. Yeah, cool. And yeah, Chris, I have some ideas for like that might pair well with what like you've got what you're thinking and everything. So I definitely will be hitting you up like in the DMs at some point because I do want to bounce some ideas off of you.
Oh
and
yeah,
everything.
no, the collaboration bit is something
yeah.
I want to ratchet up for 2025. There's been some stuff that I'm playing with, and right now I'm focused on trying to get what people work better with a buffet than short order cook type thing. So collect what I can do and then offer that to people as more of a, here, pick from the list, as opposed to having blue sky things.
Yeah. Awesome. And we got Polly up here. Happy New Year. And Jeff up here. And I want to welcome Darby, who is great to see here. I have Miss Darby, and we've got Tuck Hill and yeah, Gary's here. /key. Welcome. You guys want, and Caroline and Eduardo have been listening. We have Rachel popped in. So and Andrew has been listening for a little while. So if any of you want to come up and share like some goals or plans you have for 2025, or maybe where you're stuck, sometimes just talking about it kind of helps just sort through it. And then also the collaboration station is all about just kind of people meeting other people on here. And maybe there's someone talking about something here that you're like, that kind of is interesting to me. I might want to help with that or learn more about it or whatever. And that's how the collaboration happens kind of organically. It's hard to force that kind of stuff. And I would love it if everyone would be able to share the space so we can get some more people who might want to join us. So give that a repost. And if you can't come up and speak, go down to the purple pill. I shared a reply just asking the question, what are your goals and plans for 2025? Go ahead and drop them in there, and we can have a conversation in the replies today, even after I close the space, because we're going to go for about another 30 minutes. Gotta get some food and enjoy the vacation here. I'm hanging out with Christopher. If you didn't notice, he's on the mic, sharing my mic with me.
Sharing value, yes.
Yeah, sharing value.
Talking about cam houses.
Stop it. Yeah, he's just here to derail everything for me. Hi, Polly. How are you today?
Happy New Year, gorgeous people. How are we?
I can't hear you.
Can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can't hear Polly.
I'll drop down.
Might have to do a lap if you're trying to speak, Polly. All right. In the meantime, while she does that, we'll say hi to Jeff. Happy New Year, Jeff. How are you?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. Am I coming through?
Yes, you are coming through.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Wasn't sure. Yeah. No, okay. Polly's back. I'll wait a little bit.
Oh, no.
All right. We got Polly.
I
I
was
can
just
hear
checking
you now.
if you could hear me.
Yay.
Yes. How are we all? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Doing great. Doing great. I'm here with Christopher.
I
I know
know.
you're very excited about our love
I'm
story.
so excited about your love story. It's ridiculous. I want Elon to change his name to Cupid. Forget all the Maximus rubbish.
I know. Yeah, it was so funny. I just checked my notifications like the other day, and I was like, what is this account that notifications for? Oh my God, so wild.
Yeah, how are we all? Have you had a wonderful Christmas and New Year? I know you have. You two have. Lovebirds. Everybody else?
Yeah.
I'm just here to say hello, and I've got so many things in my head, and I think one of my real issues. So I've been off X a lot for the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks because I've been doing some normal real life work, which has sort of overtaken everything. And the weird thing is, you sort of come back, and it's like because it moves and changes so quickly, you feel slightly like, oh, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. You feel like it's sort of a whole new place in a way. Someone said yesterday, oh, everyone's kicking off. I was like, why? What's going on? It's like, no, it's just normal kicking off. So actually, X hasn't changed that much. Everyone's kicking off as usual. But I have so many things I want to do this year. And so I started out my 2025 actually posting my latest article. But from a creative perspective, I have so many things I want to do. I want to write more. I want to do much more in spaces. I want to kick off a project that I've spoken to Kate about, but I haven't actually had the chance to take forward yet, which I'm going to with Kate. I'm going to get Kate to help me on it, because
I was going to ask you about that, because I remember we did discuss it
yes,
a while back.
we did.
So yeah,
and I'm definitely going to do that. And that's one of the reasons I've just wanted to really get my head down and like clear the decks so that I can really focus on doing a lot of stuff around that. And that's one of the hardest things. I don't know if anyone else finds this, but because I love all of the stuff I do here, actually being able to focus on like boring real life stuff is actually really hard, because I constantly have this, oh, I haven't written that, oh, I haven't made that video, I haven't done this, I haven't done that, because that's where I want to be. This is where I want to be doing what I want to do. And so for me, I've really had to push that down over the last few weeks, and I've got like another week, maybe week and a half of like really clearing the decks, and then hopefully I'll be a bit freer and can really start making plans on projects. But I do find that hard, focusing on real life, because I want to be here making this into what I want it to be.
I know I get that way too, because as soon as I have something going on in real life, I'm like, I completely neglect my account here. And then when I have nothing going on in real life, I'm like on here like wildfire all the time, every day, constantly. I know, but there has to be some sort of a balance there where it can be like more part of the day, not separate from it. I don't know. Like I've tried to think about that, like more including people along with me as I'm kind of tackling my day. Not literally just like doxing myself constantly, but just being more active and bringing people along with me.
I can speak to that.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do for that kind of thing is to get into a routine, like post the same times every day. Like have like a general plan. You don't have to plan out everything, but if you're like, okay, I'll post this kind of content at this time, and then this kind of content at this time. If you get into that, if that becomes part of your day, like you can just drop that stuff and then head out. You don't have to like spend a ton of time
I
doing
am
it.
way
And,
too
yeah.
ADHD for that level of organization.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't. I'm the type of person that would like create the calendar and the schedule and everything, and then just never look at it.
Yeah,
again.
do you know, I have one sitting on my desk right now that I did last year that was supposed to do exactly that, and I found it. It had fallen down behind my desk because I've never looked at it. I found it today while I was cleaning.
Yeah, so there's something to be said for not having too much of a plan and just a general idea. I think that's probably better, especially on X, like because that means you can switch it up all the time if you need to.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna have to. It all sounds very, very organized.
Or you could not do that.
Or you already have it written down, so you can look at it again and be like, oh, that's a good
That's
idea.
a really good idea. I love that idea.
Yeah, it's a little haphazard, and I think that setting up a plan and not doing it, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, honestly, because I'm exactly the same way. But you did the time and effort to come up with something, and then you kind of did execute probably some of it that's on there just naturally.
At least for a day.
So yeah, because you were very spaces, Darby did her space earlier, and I was not able to join. I was so sad because when it comes to spaces, I'm a little bit of a planner. I like to know when. Sometimes I pop in and everything, but I do kind of like to know, like, oh, if I'm going to go to a space, I want to be able to be there, have a discussion, participate. Occasionally it'll just be like I pop in and listen, but a lot of the time I want to be active in the conversation, contribute, and all that. So I do like to plan those out a little bit more, especially. So I don't know. Darby was here. She popped in, then head out. But did you guys talk about that? What's going to be going forward with the
So I'm
discussion?
just waiting for Darby to really settle in with her new hours so that she can give me the hours. And then we'll just see what all of us can sort of fit in, because we're all in such different time zones, which makes it more complicated. Yeah, once Darby's more settled what she's doing, we're going to see what we can work out time-wise that fits in with everybody. I think everybody's sent me their sort of availability roughly. So I'll just sort of make a couple of suggestions of what fits, and we can hopefully get pivotal discussions back up and running again as well.
Yeah, because I really enjoyed that. And that's part of like my collaborations on here is a lot of spaces. And it's not, I don't want to host every space I'm in. You know what I mean? Like I enjoy hosting, but I also do like, occasionally co-hosting or just being a speaker and just chiming in or listening. So yeah, I'm excited to get those back and rolling, but I'm very happy for Darby. I'm so glad that she's got a job and she's doing well in that way.
Yeah, 100%.
So hopefully, yeah. How is she
Oh,
How
she
is
was
she?
full
You
of the
talked to her
joys
before?
today, wasn't she, Jeff? She was full of the joys. We were having a nice chat, and it was it was lovely. No, she's very cheerful, and so
Oh,
yeah,
good.
we're just going to tie down some times, and I'll come back and say, right, these are sort of the times when most people can do, because I doubt we'll find one when everyone can. But I'll just look for the ones that most people can do and make the suggestion, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, yeah. And I think this is a good conversation to have. And because this is how collaboration works on this platform. It's not, you're never going to be able to nail down everybody all the time. Rich is always a co-host for my spaces. And, he couldn't make it today, but it's fine. We're can keep going without him. And that you have to be understanding that that might happen. And I was going to be doing this space on Sunday, and I just couldn't pull it off because I was traveling on Monday, and still remnants from the holidays of just like all the chaos and everything going on. That I was like, I just don't have the time for this. I need to really make sure I can pack and have everything ready. And, that's just how it goes. Not everything is going to flow how you imagine it every time. So with Darby's collaboration, which is a large group of people to collaborate with, or it's the occasional, like, I can't do it every week, but every other week, this kind of stuff sometimes is how it all works, and you compromise on it. So I'm excited for that. I always enjoy Darby spaces, so I'm really looking forward to those happening. All right, so now Polly had to dip out. I'm sure she had a reason for that, and I'm going to say hi to Jeff again and Happy New Year, and see what you're up to, what your goals and plans are for 2025, if you got any.
Oh, I've always got plans. So yeah, I actually got started this morning and was finally able to officially launch um, the School of Snark. I've got my you can actually find the link up in my profile now, and the Substack is up and going. And as far as the plans for the future, it's building that out and getting it up and going. Was really enjoying. Well, you had the space this morning with Polly and Darby. Started off, it was just me and Darby, and Richard were in there for quite a while, but then others finally started showing up. And that was cool, great thing. Following up on the collaboration stuff, and trying to, hopefully find people that will actually like what I'm putting out and be able to start forming a team. Trying to get a team built to literally build this project, because it's got so bloody many different parts and pieces, and it's just kind of one step at a time, And but yeah, it's so far seems to be off to an awesome start for the new year, and just looking forward to it, and looking forward to seeing what other people are doing, and finding out if there's any ways that I can step in and offer something that might be helpful.
Yeah, congratulations, Jeff. That's awesome. And so that's fantastic that you're moving forward on all this stuff and you got something going. So exciting, because this is one of my favorite things about these spaces and this community and everything is like people coming up and sharing when they're unsure or starting out on something or have an idea, an inkling, and then kind of like check in from time to time and get the updates and seeing how things progress over time and unfold and meeting new people along the way. It's just so cool. It's like my favorite thing about this, and that's why I love hosting these spaces. Just and meeting new accounts and then also catching up with the regulars and everything. So that's so awesome, Jeff. Yeah, I see bright things in 2025 for you for sure.
So I've actually got a question related to some of what you and Christopher and Chris were actually talking about when we first came in. Um, there is a term that gets used on here constantly, and I find it a little befuddling. And that term is creator, okay, or content. Actually, it's focused on content, because to me, there are so many different kinds of content that can be produced and published or put out there on social media. And a lot of people, I think, get a little bit fogged. It may be a good way of putting it, because they're, does I think Christopher said it. He said, "Do I fit in the content environment?" It's kind of the way he said it, and it's like, well, even just being on spaces like this and talking in and of itself is content, But there's definitely more to it. So I just kind of like to get some other people's perspective on this term and possibly refining it for people, if that is something that might be useful, So just thought I'd throw that out.
Yeah, I can speak to that. Usually, when I think about this kind of this stuff, I think general categories. So I do tutorials, I do short form video content, experiments with AI. I do long form short films, long form short films. No, but some of them go pretty long. Last one was 17 minutes, and so I think about it in terms of general categories, and I schedule them out that way, so that I'm not constantly like doing huge projects that may or may not hit. I'm also mixing in a lot of like just one-off type stuff. So yeah, that's how I generally think about it.
Yeah, and do you think of spaces as content as well, or
I really don't,
Yeah.
to be honest. Like, that's more like networking. I think of that as networking.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because I think of, I definitely think of spaces as content. And my definition for content on X or any platform in general is, are you adding something to it? And I think spaces add quite a bit. I think they're add a lot of value on this platform. So I definitely consider them content, but it could be, are you mentally thinking of it as content when you're participating? So if I'm just jumping in a space, it's more, it's like, I feel like I'm just like hanging out with people, we're networking, we're sharing, our perspectives and knowledge and stuff like that. So maybe when I'm in there, or if I'm creating the space, even, I'm not necessarily thinking of it as content, because it's more just kind of freestyle, like it's just flowing, instead of, okay, I'm going to sit here and plot out what's going to happen when, and all those details that when we think of content. So yeah.
Well, certainly the way that you, Kate, treat the spaces, especially this one, because you're live streaming it, that would make it more content. So maybe it's kind of a reframing of how it goes, because you got like the live stream, and then people can access that later, so that becomes content.
Yeah, exactly. And I have a pretty loose definition of what content is, and I think it can be whatever one wants to make it. So you can, as long as you're adding something, and if it is you're just doing spaces but you're adding that value to this platform, I definitely think you're a content creator. It's just these different forms. And we got Aura with her hand up, and I know she's got probably something to add on this, or maybe something completely different.
Well, I'll start out with something completely different. Happy New Year, everyone. I am so happy to be here on the first day of the year. I'm super excited to see what we do as a community in 2025. I think that we are going to see so many amazing things, and I'm here for it. I want to celebrate your creations and your networking and all that jazz. So I think the question is, anything you put up is content. Anything. Even if it's copy pasta, it's content. So I think of it as food for me. So this is my taste, not your taste. You get to choose what that is for you. But I'm not a big fan of fast food because it's not healthy for me. I'm not a big fan of anything sour. I don't like things fermented. Some of you might love that. Great, go do it. I really detest, and this isn't the people that are posting, but I detest the garbage. I detest divisive content that's just getting an argument for clicks, even if it's two friends that have orchestrated a fight to get clicks. I detest copy pasta. I hate content theft. Like, if you stole something that somebody originally created and you didn't give them credit, we are not going to be friends the minute I find out. We're not. Um, I know that the nature of social media is to share things that we find, we enjoy, we got some value out of. And that is a wonderful and beautiful part of social media. But you need to share, not pretend like you wrote it, not cut, just stop. That's horrible. And you're going to get really bad karma from it. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on what's content. And, I have some in 2025, my main resolution, if you will call it, is that I am not engaging with anything but the highest quality, healthiest content for me. And that's a wide variety, guys. But the rest of it, I'm done playing the game. I don't care if I make another nickel in the revenue program. I want X. And I think X is trying to get there with us as well, but I'm not 100% positive, and that's okay. But I know who I want to hang out with. So, and some of the finest creators on this platform are in the room, and I'm sure more will be here later. There'll definitely be more of them the next space that Case hosts, because they know that Kate values them, and those are the type of people she's attracting by having some pretty high standards. And I'm glad that I've met yours and that you talked to me. And oh yeah, I'm also taking engagement vacation this month. If you don't already know, I'm doing like 30 minutes a day. I'll probably be reposting like the really good stuff that I see, and then it'll be, a double whammy on my account, since I'm going to tank it all month anyways. So if you want to see quality content that's not just mine, take a look at my reposts or turn your reposts for me on. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Aura. Happy New Year. And I loved everything you said there, because I think what that will do, even your little thing that you're starting out in January doing, will really tune up your algorithm, and it's just gonna be amazing for you and the people you connect with. It'll just grow everything. I just have a feeling.
I have to say that my algorithm, my For You, is actually really amazing right now, because I've been being really mindful and careful about, who I'm hanging out with.
Yeah, it's so important. So, like, yeah, if anyone here is like having a bad time on their timeline, or just not seeing stuff that they're really interested in, that you really have to kind of make that conscious effort to engage with the stuff that you see that you really like, or the people. Sometimes, like, there's people, I don't necessarily like everything that every person that I follow and I'm friends with on here posts, like
What?
that. Yeah. But I will still support them, because I know I want to keep seeing their stuff. You'll see people falling off your feeds if you aren't engaging with them in some way. So, there is that little bit of a give and take on it, but I'm not doing that with like accounts that I genuinely have no interest in what they post most of the time. I know that, like, Chris, for example, up here, he posts some really like niche content that, like, I don't know all the time what he's talking about, but I know I want to see his stuff, and I want him to show up at my spaces, because I want to talk to him, because he's always got something to add, and he really thinks about stuff in a different way. And so I really enjoy his perspective. So I'm going to interact with his stuff at whatever level I can, to, encourage him to keep posting, for one, and to also get him to hopefully come show up in my spaces, because I really like what he adds here. And so I think about that when I'm on the timeline as well. And also when people post in the community itself, I try and get in there, engage with that, because I know I want those people to continue to do that and feel encouraged, and, again, participate in the spaces and stuff. Yeah, go ahead, Aura.
Yeah, well, you just reminded me, that's like another one of my resolutions. There's a lot of really high content. Bleh. There's a lot of people doing amazing stuff that I see them and they're bigger. So I haven't engaged with them that often, because, like, why are they going to engage with little old me? And I'm actually going to go out of my way, like hardcore out of my way to get those people in my feed every day. Like right now, my For You is great, guys. It's content creators creating amazing content, people that I enjoy and love. And, you know, maybe it's just spaces they do, but I love those spaces. And so I will, like, I made sure to interact with this space so that Kate stays on my stream, or at least the community. I wish communities, anyways, the point being, there are people like Yvonne, you know, she's never in my feed. I only see her in spaces. So I need to, like, I'm going to have a list and I'm going to mark people down when I hear them talking in spaces. And I'm a manual list on paper. And for my 30-minute engagement, guess who I'm coming to visit this month? So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Good strategy, you know. And but I think the algorithm is getting better. They made some improvements over the holiday break, I guess you could call it, like, and I think that we'll start to see it really play out over the next coming months. Because I don't know, the platforms are kind of weird. Like everyone's schedules have been all over the place, and I haven't been as nearly as active as I normally am, and other people too. So I think as the dust settles in the next months, we'll really see how that plays out. And those of us that are active on here and using the feeds the way that Aura's talking about, really seeking out the people that we want to connect with and posting the content that, like, I think about it inverse. So like I'm posting content that like I enjoy and I like and everything, because that's going to ultimately attract people who like that and then ultimately like me. So like posting stuff that doesn't resonate with me isn't useful, like, to grow on this platform, in my opinion. And of course, everyone has their own strategies and do what you want, but this is just how I think about it mentally. Like, I want to attract people that are interested in me and what I put out there and are kind of like me a little bit. And so magically it works, guys. So there's a lot of people in this room that I have a lot in common with. And I know if we like lived in the same, locality, we could go out for coffee and have a great time. So that's how I think about this platform. And I'm always thinking about that. Like, I know maybe I'm not going to meet everybody on here one day that I connect with, but I know that if we did, we would have fun and it would be a really engaging conversation or a good day, you know? So that's how I think about it and how I'm going to keep thinking about it in 2025. And I think the algorithm is going to even reward that even more. So just something to think about when you're deciding, like, oh, should I post this or not? Or, that would be a good post. You know, there might be your intuition might be telling you a little bit something there. And you'll start to attract more people like you. I am going to make this a short space today because, yeah, I mean, I'm here with Christopher.
I haven't heard from Human Rebuild.
Yeah, I want to go to Human Rebuild because I want to say Happy New Year to him, but I just want to let everybody know that I'm going to be closing up the space here in a few minutes. I wanted to say Happy New Year to everybody. It's just so great to see everybody. I miss everyone so much. Like, I just want to be on X all the time. I love you all. So Happy New Year, Human Rebuild. I know you've got like lots of things cooking going on, and I want to know what you got really on your plate for probably the first few months of 2025. You probably have it all planned out for the next 5 years. I don't know. I have a notion for that.
Howdy, everyone. I hope everyone is having a good start off to their New Year's. Yes, I do have, just one or two things planned out and figured out. My initial things are my Notion tutorials. So last night I started filming my beginning of my Notion tutorials, which is really just explaining, what Notion is and why you should use it, like use case examples, or at least the most useful use case examples. Right, because that's one thing I've noticed with the tutorials that I've seen, or even just the templates, is most people, and it's not a diss on the people that do videos, right? But most people, they try to make their Notion templates all aesthetic and cute and artsy fartsy, and that really derails from it being useful and more so it just looking nice. And like, I'll watch them now, I'm just like, oh gosh, like this is just like, so just not like, it's just like not it, like no disrespect to them, but it's like, it's just not it. So my goal with the tutorials, right, is with me making my individual videos for each specific thing, right? For, you know, how to style it, the blocks, etc., is try to explain it in a detailed way and try to showcase, you know, like I'll showcase everything, but I will say, you know, in my opinion, you know, this is more useful than this. This works similar to that. So it's kind of redundant. For example, right, when I was just filming my blocks for it last night, and so they have blocks for embedding photo, video files, audio. They have one for Google Drive files, Twitter posts, etc. Right? But then they just have an overall embed. So it makes a lot more sense to just click the embed every time, because you don't have to try to find X, Y, and Z, because whatever you embed, it's going to apply it for that. So it's just, you know, it's kind of redundant to pick one when it works the same way. So that's what I really want to try to do, is just maximize it to where whatever, regardless of whatever you're trying to do, it's useful for you and you actually understand the applications, right? Because a lot of the times, if you, for example, like if you look up a Notion template for goal setting or habit tracking, there are millions of videos. But if you look up one, for example, on how to track your health or how to make, say, you know, a readiness score, you know, kind of like what your watch does when you wake up, that we can kind of gauge how to, you know, go about your day or tackle your workout, there really aren't templates for that or examples on how to do that or other use cases. So like I said, I really just, that's my goal with the Notion templates is I want, like, regardless of whatever you want to make, I want to showcase that so you can have confidence in whatever you're doing. So that's, so those are my few videos. I will try to use this month on my cinema side to finish up all of my James Bond edits so I can get that out of the way. And then I think once I start actually working on my cinema edits, my first ones are going to be, let me see what's going to be after. So my first, so my first cinema edit is going to be the Cloverfield movies after James Bond, because I'm doing it alphabetically. So that'll be Cloverfield, 10 Cloverfield Lane, and the Cloverfield Paradox that Netflix did. So those are going to be my first iterations working out of that. So those are my initial footholds that I'm working on.
Two out of three of those movies were good.
This is true.
And that anyone who's listening, that was Christopher. He's sitting right next to me right now. So everyone's like, what's up with Kate's voice? She have too many cigarettes last night?
Just woke up.
She's got a little bit of extra hard liquor in her system.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. All that whiskey. No, I don't drink or smoke. I stopped all that a long time ago.
Just vaping now.
Yeah. And like, so yeah, anyone who's like trying to get into Notion or how they can use Notion and all this stuff, follow the Human Rebuild, and then also just like being entertained in general, make sure you're following him, because yeah, I'm really looking forward to what he puts out for content around Notion and stuff. And as you were talking, I was thinking, you know, the new year, people are resetting and are looking to plan out and, you know, have goals. And some people like to set up the planner for the year and everything like that. So I was thinking, I'm like, oh, that would be a fantastic space to have, to go, or a live stream to do a really in-depth walkthrough of how you could use Notion to do that, to build that out as like a mini workshop. And I don't know, like, I'm not saying do that, but that was something like, I was like, oh, new year, that's something everyone's always trying to do and would probably be very interested in. And so if you can't do it this year, think about that for next year as something you could do. I know that would do very well. Everyone's, and the fitness stuff too, because everyone wants to set up either like fitness goals, personal goals, career goals, whatever it is. If it can built out as like a single type of planner, you know, make your own spin on it to make it cooler, because that's so boring, right? But I think that you would be like the perfect person for that to do, because you just know so much about that program.
Thank you. I do want to do that. However, I don't want to do the streams. I do want to do video spaces. And the main reason is because, you know, for all of us that have either hosted a stream or watched somebody stream on any given platform, right? My biggest thing after seeing a video space is just the lack of real-time interaction. And what I mean by that is, you know, whenever you're watching it, whenever you're doing a space or whenever you're doing a live stream, you have to pay attention to your chat, right? Like it's a non-negotiable. Like if you get too locked into whatever you're trying to showcase, you can miss your chat, especially with, you know, everybody commenting, hey, hi, and then the actual questions get lost in the sauce. And then, you know, you have to wait for people to type their response, it being sent to your side of the stream, and then you posting it. By then it's, you know, a 30-minute lag just for it to get to you and actually start talking about it, let alone you seeing the actual comment. But with video spaces, right, you actually having people you can bring up on stage, and then whenever they have a question, you know, they can just say, I got a question real quick, and you're like, all right, cool, and then you can handle that and you can do it in real time. And the other thing with streams that is annoying that we all probably experience is when you're trying to ask a question but you want it to make sense. However, there are limited, you know, you have a limited amount of characters. So, you know, we've all seen it where we've ever done a live stream and the person's reading the chat and they're like, I don't really understand what you mean. And then the person on the other end is probably like, I only had so many characters to explain what I'm trying to get across, right? And so it has to come out as like 5 separate messages when it's a lot easier if you just have a space and they can ask you verbatim exactly what they want and there's no communication issue. That also allows your stream to be a lot leaner because there's no, you know, miscommunication or communication barrier. So whenever they do get streams nailed and figured out, I do want to do that. I don't do it right now. And the main reason why is because, you know, you don't really have the ability to smoothly switch between different screens and things of that nature. And then also, you know, if you have an Android user that is attending a video space, they have no idea that it's a video space. When they hop into it, they just see it as a regular space. So unless somebody says, you know, hey, all my Android users, this is a video space, they're not going to know. So they have to switch to their browser. And if you're saying that like every 5 minutes, again, that derails, that detaches from you actually hosting. So yeah, I just, once that, you know, gets established, I do want to do it, but I don't want to do it in a streaming format because I do want to maximize how useful the actual live stream the actual, you know, live stream is, but also when people are playing the recordings and they don't have all that filler stuff in there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I totally agree because I have this idea in my head of hosting workshops, right? And it's so hard to do that and have it be interactive because if you went to an actual workshop and there's a room of 10 people and the person's at the front of the class teaching the workshop, it's a more interactive experience. Yeah, you have your back and forth questions, a hand goes up, you know, it's that thing, and you can share, you know, a screen, a presentation, but also have your face there and be dynamic and engaging. And like that, so true. Everything you said there, you can't achieve that with live streaming, and you can't really achieve that 100% with spaces yet either. So there, to be able to pull that off, yeah, there's a few missing links, and I'm would love to utilize that because that's a format I would love to do because I really think that there's a lot of value in giving like in-depth tutorials, but yeah, without like where people can interact directly, and especially with dry content, right, it needs, you need a little help with it. So I'm going to be wrapping up the space, guys, so thanks so much for coming. And you know, I'm so excited for everyone here who shared what they've got goals and plans for in 2025, and you know, keep coming to my spaces and updating me as we go along the way. If you want a little bit of accountability, I'm happy to bug you about your stuff and have you tell me how you dropped off and failed and feel that shame for a moment. if that's what your motivator is, if that's your love language, I'm happy to do that. If not, you can, you know, just listen and find motivation another way. I'm happy to encourage as well. And if you post into the community, I check that. I try to check it every day, maybe every other day, and get in there and reply and see what you guys are working on. So be sure to post that. We had the contest, the collaboration station collab contest for 2025. So that I'll have more details on for the people who entered that. I think on it'll probably be, it'll probably be next Wednesday space. So it'll be a week from today, I think, when we'll be able to go on that. Schedule's a little bit all over the place at the moment, but I will be updating about that. And yeah, Chris threw his hand up, so I'll give him a chance to speak here, and then I'll be closing the space.
No, I'm not trying to derail the close. I was just saying one of the things about accountability and collaboration is the fact that when I becomes we, it's less about not getting something finished or doing something, and it's more about a team. And I think that helps accountability, not in the sense that there's somebody sitting there that's going to yell at you, but the sense that you're going to let somebody down if you don't hold up your end of the bargain.
Oh yeah, that's a big one, right? Yeah, you don't want to let anyone down if they're depending on you for something. So good point. All right, yeah, thanks for chiming in on that. Appreciated, and thanks everybody for coming and hanging out, and those who shared and those who are just listening. You have an opportunity to share in the purple pill still. If you want to throw in there what your goals and plans for 2025, drop them down there. We can have a conversation today. I can get into the replies and we can discuss things if that's a better format for you. DMs are great, guys, but honestly, like a lot of what people put in DMs, it's really a question that should be out there for other people to see and share with people. So like try and think of that in the new year about how you think about DMing someone and asking a question. Why not have it be an at the person and posted publicly, and getting that conversation going that way, and other people can learn from it as well. And hey, if you're both verified and you're in the monetization program, you're also making money off of that conversation. So a little bit of a bonus little hack there. So that's something I like to think about. All right, so thanks everybody again for coming, and I'll see you at the next space. I think it'll be Wednesday. I'm traveling on Sunday, so I don't know how I'm going to be able to. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do a space on Sunday. But so next Wednesday, and if you're not in the community yet, just tap on the collaboration station at the top of the space here and request to join the community. And we have a lot of really great creators in there. We're growing. So it's a great place to post your stuff, ask questions, ask for help, and engage that way and see what other people are up to and working on. So I hope to see you in there. Thanks again, everybody. Happy New Year. Let's get 2025. We're going to do it right on X in 2025. We're going to make this an incredible platform. We are the ones who make this platform great. So let's just keep doing it. And have a great day, everybody.
Thank you for everybody for coming.
Bye.